Today, we will talk about entrepreneurship in health information technology. What drives people to come up with new products? We will talk with a successful health informatics entrepreneur to find that out. And what does it take to succeed? Some people who invent and implement health informatics solutions will make money, and a fraction of those will even get rich. Take, for example, Judy Faulkner, who founded a small medical software company in Wisconsin, USA in the early 1980s. The company is called Epic Systems, and it provides electronic health records, billing, and scheduling systems to large medical centers. Today, it has more than 9,000 employees and annual revenues of $2.5 billion. Faulkner is worth $2.6 billion according to Forbes. That makes her one of the top 10 richest women in the US. Of course, this is an outlier, but we see more and more health informatics entrepreneurs who succeed in creating large and important ventures. So what is needed for success? Let's look, for example, at a company called RightCare Solutions, which I have had an opportunity to follow and be involved with some of its work. The RightCare Solutions product was based on the health informatics solution created by Dr. Catherine Bowles from the University of Pennsylvania. Dr. Bowles' story is also described in details in the article called From Unmet Clinical Need to Entrepreneurship, Taking Your Informatics Solution to Market. The first step to success is based on that your health informatics solution has to address an unmet need. In the case of RightCare Solutions, Dr. Bowles recognized the necessity for better prediction of which patient would need referral to post-acute care when discharged from hospital in order to prevent rehospitalizations. The National Institute of Nursing Research funded Dr. Bowles to produce a decision support system for discharge planning. The Discharge Decision Support System, called in short D2S2, had an 83% predictive accuracy for identifying patients who should be referred for post-acute care. Although D2S2 showed great potential for reducing rehospitalizations, at the time that the system was developed, around 2008, there was little interest for it in the US healthcare system. A few years later, though, in 2010, several legislative changes in the US required hospitals to reduce rehospitalizations. At this point, all the stars aligned and the business opportunity emerged with large unmet need in clinical decision support tools to reduce rehospitalizations. Another aspect to take into account with a novelty product is intellectual property. Intellectual property is property, such as an idea, invention, or process, that derives from the work of the mind or intellect. Dr. Bowles protected her intellectual property rights by filing a patent application for the D2S2. In general, when employees invent something, the employer owns the rights for the resulting intellectual property. You may or may not share ownership of that intellectual property, and the percentage that belongs to you depends on the organization's policies. The next step is to develop a business plan. A typical business plan should address several key points, including definition of the market, a description of the technology, commercial opportunity, business model, and a solid financing plan. Once a solid business plan was in place, RightCare Solutions attracted a team of founding members that included a former venture capitalist, an experienced chief information officer, and several other key persons. The next important step is to raise startup funds and to find larger capital to support building the business. In this case, the RightCare Solutions team has won several business plan competitions and started to build momentum and credibility. Next, larger amounts of funding are necessary from traditional venture capital firms to keep growing. To attract funding, the company is usually required to meet and pitch to many investors to find the one or two investors who are interested in providing financial support to move the company from startup to commercialization. Alternative sources of funding may come from the government. For example, RightCare Solutions received the Small Business Innovation Research Grant, SBIR, from the US government to test their tool. Another significant and complex step is a commercial launch. Once the product is developed, large resource investment is often needed for marketing the product and making sure it meets the needs of diverse groups of real users. Overall, RightCare Solutions has raised over $10 million for their growing operation. Finally, Most of the successful businesses have to face an important decision of whether to go public or sell their product to a larger company. Going public refers to a private company's initial public offering, IPO, thus becoming a publicly owned and traded business on the stock market. This is necessary to grow the company at scale through public investment. On the other hand, the company can decide to sell to a larger company providing similar types of services. RightCare Solutions has chosen the latter and was acquired by Cardinal Health, a very large Fortune 500 healthcare service company. This deal offered RightCare Solutions a tremendous growth opportunity. The example of RightCare Solutions offers several important insights into the fascinating world of health informatics entrepreneurship. First, there has to be an unmet clinical need that your product can solve. Second, you will need a strong team of very skilled and committed individuals to build up the business and operations. Third, your team has to be able to attract funding for product development and marketing. Lastly, your company has to learn how to change and grow over time to meet the demand. And finally, you need lots of luck. In our course, you will see several other examples of health informatics companies, big and small, and we will ask them about their business trajectories and lessons learned. I'm sure their lessons can help you think about creating your health informatics startup.